Hello everybody and welcome to the ToniSport Newsfeed. Today I have a very special video clip for you as the new Mugen Seiki MTC-2R touring car was just released a couple of days ago by Mugen Seiki. And I made a small trip to the Mugen Seiki Europe headquarters in Germany, in the city of Gelsenkirchen, where I met with Ronald Völker, the leading top touring car driver from Mugen Seiki, and we talked about all the new features of the brand new MTC-2R touring car. And yeah, today you have the chance to watch this great video again here in the ToniSport Newsfeed about the all-new MTC-2R touring car. I hope that you will enjoy the video, and let's get it started. We will switch over now to the Mugen Seiki headquarters. Hello and welcome from the Mugen Seiki headquarters here in Gelsenkirchen, Germany. I'm here with Ronald Völker, the leading Mugen Seiki factory driver for the 110 scale electric on-road division. First of all, welcome Ronald, nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Today we are here for a special reason, because we want to talk a little bit about Mugen Seiki's newest MTC-2R touring car. In the last 2 years you have raced the MTC2 at the ETS and at a lot of other competitions. How excited are you personally to have a new car here on the table now?
I'm very excited about it. We basically improved the MTC2 in any detail and in general. So I'm very excited to show the new features.
So the MTC2 was a very successful car for yourself. You have won the European, the Euro Touring Series title in the modified class for 2 years in a row. So improving a very good car is sometimes not very easy, but I think with Robert and with the rest of the team, with Eric and all the other guys, I think it was a good cooperation to improve a good car into maybe an even better car now.
Yes, it's still quite a new platform. We keep on developing, and of course we are always here and there small things you can improve, and basically this is what has happened for the new car.
Okay, so a lot of new features for the MTC-2R touring car. We will talk about all the small details now in the upcoming video, and we hope that you will enjoy the new platform on track when you have your own MTC2 car in your hands very, very soon. So first we like to talk about the new updated drivetrain of the MTC-2R, and I think the most noticeable change are the drive shafts. What can you tell us about the drive shafts? What has changed from the MTC2 to the new car now?
The new drive shafts are great. Not only you have ball bearings replacing the blades, you also have the ball bearing on the rear drive shaft, which runs really smooth. The whole drivetrain is very smooth. Also performance-wise in the corners, nice corner speed. It's very light also, and even the front outside joint is really smooth. Additionally, you don't have to maintain it a lot, and the durability is also amazing.
So the new drive shafts, they are also consisting of less parts compared to the old ones. It looks like it's very easy to build and a very simple but great system.
Yes, it's less part, and once you have them built, like I said, we tested it a lot, and you can run them very long. Definitely.
Okay, and additional to the new drive shafts, there are also then a new wheel hub system, where the wheel hubs are going into the ball bearings of the uprights.
Yes, also a nice and light system. It runs very round. The camber stays the same all the time, so this adds up the smoothness on the new drivetrain.
Okay, and last but not least, when we're talking about the drivetrain, the motor mount here in the center of the car has also changed a little bit. It looks a little bit more slim.
Yes, it's lighter and smaller. You have a lot of options for the flex on the top, for the top deck, which will come later about it. And the belt tensioners is a nice feature, especially in modified. You can adjust them in the height for the front and rear how you want. So there's no problem with belt skipping, and even for the stock class it can be a nice option to change your belt tension just by using different height on the ball bearing. So this is really nice and easy to use.
So a very nice and great update for the drivetrain of the car.
definitely.
Okay, let's talk about the new bulkheads and the adjustability of the caster on the car. The bulkheads, they seem to be a little bit stronger as the older ones.
Yes, the old ones were quite strong, but the new ones are even stronger. They have a flat surface.
Okay.
They are still very light, and you have the possibility to have a little bit finer belt tension adjustments. Okay. And you can also work that together with a belt tensioner on the motor mount.
Okay. Yeah, but now let's talk about the caster adjustment. At the old MTC2, the customers, they had to loosen these two bolt stud screws, and then they were moving the upper arm forwards or backwards. What has changed on the new car?
Yes, exactly. This was a struggle for various customers that you were able to bind them a little bit too easy.
Okay.
So now they're basically in one position. Once you have them tightened up correctly, you don't have to remove the balls on the upper arm anymore, but you have the slider opportunity with the upper aluminium bulkhead. So you slide it forwards or backwards according to the caster you want.
So it's more easy now to adjust the caster without binding the upper arm. So
exactly, now it's easy to adjust the caster. You can use different kind of tools and measurements. For example, you can also use those Mugen Seiki gauges.
Yes.
With 3, 4, 5 degrees of caster. You can actually run also 6 degrees of caster on each side if you want to, but this is just to show that you have various options now with the caster.
So the range has become bigger.
The range has become bigger, but the normal sensitive way is to run 4 or 5 degrees in the front and 2, 3, 4 degrees in the rear.
And these small caster gauges, they are included in this multi-tool with the straight plate, which we will show later in the video.
Exactly.
But, this is a very important tool then for every owner of an MTC-2R because then it's easy to adjust the caster in a perfect way.
Exactly. The bulkheads they need to be very good and perfect on the car in the best situation, and then you can still adjust the caster easily with loosening, tightening the upper bulkheads.
Okay, so very much improved adjustability of the caster on the Mugen Seiki MTC-2R. And now we will talk a little bit more about other stuff like shocks and top decks. Another new feature on the car is a new top deck. It's a one-piece top deck which comes with the kit, but it looks way more narrow compared to the top deck from the MTC2.
Yeah, in my opinion, it looks really nice. It's easy to slide on from the side. And it features also more options with the flex, with the center flex.
Yes.
You can opt to make it stiff on the front of the spur gear and the rear part of the spur gear. Also, you have the option to cut the top deck if you want to have it more soft. And there will be a two-piece top deck as option part with the option also to cut it for the front and the rear like you want. And including the possibility to use 2 screws for each top deck for the front or the rear. So you can make it really stiff if you want. So there are plenty of opportunities to change the flex on the car.
One more question about top decks. Can the customers also use the top decks they have in their box from the MTC2? Or is there anything which will not fit anymore?
Yes, a lot of parts are fitting from the old MTC2 version, and also the top decks. All top decks are fitting on the new car.
Okay, so also very good, interesting information, because sometimes you carry a lot of top decks in your box, and when a new car is arriving, it's always good when you can use the parts in the future.
Exactly.
Another new feature on the MTC-2R is the single bell crank steering system. Ronald, what can you tell us about the new steering of the car?
Yeah, basically it's an all-new steering. You don't have 2 arms anymore, it's 1 arm. And the benefit of it is it basically has less play. The ball bearings are a very tight fit with an extra screw, so it just has a little amount of play. And also it's a very, very light steering. Directly connected to the servo mount.
Okay, so that means that you mount the servo onto the same piece, which is also the base of the steering system. So the steering gets mounted with only 2 or 3 screws onto the chassis then?
Exactly. The steering has only 2 screws in the center of the chassis, and with all servos available on the market, you can fit the servo under the new servo mount, and the overall weight is very low. It's basically everything got lighter, and also the servo horn can be used a little bit shorter to have it even smoother feeling. And you still have also the Ackermann possibility with moving it forward or backwards. So it's 2 fixed positions. This is also an easy fit on the car, and easy to change, and basically an improvement with everything.
Yeah, you talked about the less amount of play in the steering system. This is maybe caused because there are only 2 bearings in the whole steering unit.
Yes, instead of having 2 arms, it's just 1 arm. The amount of bearings are also less, and that's basically the benefit of it. It's lighter. It's also very doable just to have it there in the center.
Okay, so new steering system in the MTC-2R, single bell crank steering, less play in the steering, and easy to mount all the servos in one piece together with the steering system. So Ronald, one of the most interesting tuning part for the MTC2 in the last year was the active shock tower for the car, which allows to have a shock tower which was able to kind of move during cornering or during the shift of the weight in the car. I think almost every MTC2 owner has bought these active rear shock towers, but now they are included in the kit.
Yes, this is and was a very nice option part for the MTC2. Basically, the car was more stable on any bumps or curbs, and was a really nice benefit. And now in the new kit, it's basically included. You can decide whether you want to fix the shock tower, like on a normal car, or if you want to have it active in front and rear. By using an additional second screw, you can just lock them, or with just 1 screw, it's active. As the bulkhead design changed, the lower bulkhead design, the shock towers also changed for this, but everything is included in the kit.
Okay, so no more need for the customer to buy a separate active shock tower. They can now easily choose if they want to use it fixed or active. And as you talked about the shock towers, they are even more flat, or you can lean the shocks even more inwards in the new car?
Yes, if you want, you can decide to run it more soft by using less amount of shims. Okay. So if you use the same amount of shims on the new car, the angle will be more flat. Okay. And the range of using the shock towers are more upright or more flat is available. And also the shock towers got on the front more low, so more LCG, more corner speed, and this is also a very nice option.
So lower shock towers, and they are included in the kit with the option active or fixed. About the shocks, maybe they also received some small updates.
Yes, as this was also a feedback of the customers, the 2mm balls on the shock on the bottom and top, they were worn out quite quickly, depending on how careful you try to untighten and tighten them. Yeah. And the new car features a 2.5mm wrench and a 6mm ball. Okay. Basically similar to the ones on the upper link, and with this you have basically less wear.
Okay, so but because of using the 6mm ball now, the length of the shock stays the same, or is the shock now longer?
No, the plastic parts on the bottom and top are adapted to it, and the shock length stay the same.
Okay, and last but not least, I also saw that we have a new O-ring or X-ring in the shock.
Yes, the new O-ring runs smoother, so this is also a benefit. You have also less leaking, and it's always good to have less friction without using any oil, and then the shock automatically works smoother and better on any conditions.
Okay, so we have the car here on the table, and when I'm looking at the car, I also noticed that there are some parts made from a very hard composite material in the car. Can you maybe tell us the parts which have changed on the car, maybe from aluminum to this composite material or from carbon to composite?
Yes, for example, the body stoppers included in the kit are now lower.
Okay.
The old ones in the kit were 1.5 millimeter higher, which was made for body shells where you had a roof limit.
Okay.
But nowadays on most events the roof limit is lower, so you will have a benefit of having lower body stoppers in the kit. And made by plastic, they're eventually lighter, which is great. And also it could have happened. It happened also to me when you crash. The aluminium body stopper bent, and therefore this is a very durable, strong material. And you will also find this on the bumper, the carbon fiber bumper. Also, in a crash, it saved your car, but it may not saved your bumper. And on the bottom of the shock, the connection to the lower arms will also have a composite, with the benefit of having lighter and stronger material.
Yes, and the same also I see here for the anti-roll bar mounts. It's also replaced from aluminum to the composite material, which I think should be also a benefit for the customer, because if you need a spare part, it will be more not as expensive as aluminum was.
Yes, a benefit is that it's cheaper cost if you have an impact and your sway bar holder was also bent or broken. The replacement with composite parts is also cheaper.
Okay. And last but not least, I see new body mounts, which you also can adjust in height very easily.
Yes, this was also a feedback of customers that it was maybe too many fine steps. It was not easy enough to put the aluminium.
Yes, with the body clip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes not that easy, and with those one, it's very simple.
Yeah, and they are also super light.
Exactly. Very simple and light and easy in use.
So one of the new option parts for the car is a harder upper arm. I think the kit comes with the same arms as the MTC2 had. What can you tell us about the upper arm? Where do the customers maybe need the parts?
Yes, there was nothing wrong with the current upper arm. I would say it's like a medium hardness, and you were able to cut it more soft, to make it to have it more soft. But we have the options to have an even stronger and harder one. Under certain track condition, it might work out better. Or maybe in the heat, or if you want to have just a direct feeling. And this is for sure a nice option to have.
Okay, so the harder arm has the same shape and looks almost the same. It's just made from a harder composite material.
Exactly.
Okay. Then it has one more new tool, which we maybe can show here in the camera for adjusting the camber, and you also can use it as a turnbuckle wrench. It's a new tool from Mugen Seiki, which makes life way more easy when working on the car, when adjusting the camber, and this is also maybe a very important information for the customers.
Yeah, it's a very nice two-in-one tool. You can set your turnbuckle on the car at the same time as if you want to change your camber forward and back, and this is way more easy in use, and definitely a must-have for any MTC2 customers, for the old and the new car.
Okay. I think now we are almost done with the introduction of the new MTC2R touring car. As you have seen, a lot of new features from on the car. Ronald, I think all Mugen Seiki drivers, they can really look forward to get a new car on the table, because it features so many new things.
Yes, it's definitely improvement. Also, what customers maybe had as a feedback, and you will definitely have a great MTC2R in the future.
Okay, and last but not least, one last word about the chassis, because when somebody has an MTC2 now, he can mount all the new parts on his actual chassis plate.
Yes, well, there are some changes on the new car. You can still use a lot from the current MTC2. Which includes the chassis. So every every current customer can use their aluminium, their carbon chassis on the new car as well, if they have spare left.
Okay, so Ronald, thank you for talking with us here about the new MTC-2R. Customers can expect the car to hit the stores very soon, in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I think whenever somebody will see you at a track, they can always come over to ask you about a new car.
Sure, they can come to me, they can come to the other drivers, and they can contact me online. And special thanks to Robert Peach for having everything made possible for the new car.
So that was today's introduction of the MTC-2R here from the Mugen Seiki headquarters in Germany. Thank you for watching, and we wish you a lot of fun and enjoyment with your new MTC-2R touring car on the track, and we see us trackside very soon. Goodbye. Everything is set to go for the next evolution of the Mugen Seiki touring car. Thank you for watching our video today. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel until now, just do it. Make sure that the bell is on and you will not miss the ToniSport newsfeed in the future. If you have any questions regarding the MTC-2R platform, just contact me at any time or write all your questions here below the video in the comments. I really appreciate it, and we will see us in the next ToniSport newsfeed video. Goodbye and have a great day.